Hi there, Samanpreet. I'm very happy to see that you've sent a new set of essays. Let's look at this one. The first one is about countries with a long average working time. So let's see if you agree or disagree with the statement here. Economists throughout both the developed and developing world have debated whether extended or normal working hours make countries financially strong. This essay will discuss both sides using the examples from the UK government and Apple Inc. to demonstrate points and prove arguments. All right, well, that would be okay if this were a discuss disadvantages and advantages essay. However, this one very clearly asks you a question here to which it expects an answer, and it expects that answer in the introduction. That is how you can assure that your position is clear throughout your response, by including it in your introduction. So I would like to see whatever it is you've probably had in your conclusion. Okay, blending technology with standard work hours. So you think that regular working hours are appropriate. I would have liked to see that in your introduction. Okay. Alrighty, so let's move on. There's something a little awkward about this, whether extended or normal or working hours. I wanted you to kind of separate these two maybe. So economists throughout the world, developing and developed world, have debated whether extended working hours make countries stronger or make countries financially strong, or if this can be accomplished through normal working hours. So you make this they make these two-sided issue a little clearer rather than this extended or normal working hours. Okay. Alrighty. So there is ample evidence that prolonged working hours lead to a high productivity rate, which helps in financial growth, but only for a short period of time. Full stop here, not comma. In the long run, it causes a decline in the economy rate. What happened in this sentence? Let's see. There is ample evidence that prolonged working hours lead to a high productivity rate, which helps in financial growth, but only for a short time. Yeah, you need a full stop here. In the long run, it causes a decline in the economy rate. The central reason behind this is long working hours adversely affect the health of workers, and they become vulnerable to illness, stress, and even depression, which affect their working abilities. For example, recent empirical research by the UK government demonstrated that most companies with extended working hours face financial losses in the longer span of time. How about in the long run, or long term would have been nice as well. Therefore, it is conclusively clear that although extended hours of working do increase economic growth, it is only for a short span of time. Okay, careful. I feel like you use this short span of time a lot. Let's see. Yeah, I would have liked the long term here. Use longer span of time. I feel like I saw it a few times. Okay, here you said short period of time. There seems to be a little bit of repetition in some of the language. So I would have liked to have seen that a little different. Like I said, you could have said long term, short term, in the short term, in the long term. Let's see, how else could you have said that? I mean, there are other ways to do it as well, but I don't want to spend too much time on that. Let's continue. On the other hand, there are some countries with standard working hours and successful financial conditions owing to technologies. This is largely because technologies like automation reduce repetitive manual work to a great extent and increase the efficiency rate. For instance, you don't need a capital here. Apple Inc. spends millions of dollars, not money, on automation technologies, which in return raise the revenue tenfold. Thus, it's possible to state beyond doubt that incorporating technologies and work with normal average working hours bring monetary benefits. All right, this is very nice. There's no real problems with it, although I don't really feel that it's truly very deeply developed. There's not really a lot going on here. There's not a lot of arguments. There's just one central argument, which is okay, but I still think you could have potentially said a little bit more about this. You could have gone into a little more detail. That is, if you're looking for one of those really higher band scores. Okay? So yeah, I think specifically here you could have added something like, where does this automation work? Okay? Like maybe in the assembly of its products. All right? So you could have said something like that, the working hours of the employees have fallen to 40 hours a week from 60 hours a week since automation of assembly had been established in the company. So just going a little further down that line of thinking, I think would have made a difference here. All right, let's move on. From the arguments and examples given, I firmly believe that even though prolonged average work time does increase revenue, it is only for a short span of time. So in the long run, not longer, blending technology with standard hours of work is a better approach. Okay, I don't know if I mentioned it in this paragraph. You did it here too. Where was it? There was someplace where you used but and although in the same sentence. And here you said even though and then but. You can't do that. You really just have to pick one of these. So if you have a sentence with although, if you have a sentence with even though, you cannot use but as well. You just have to pick one of those words. All right, we don't use two in a sentence. All right, so this was nice. I liked it. Like I said, I thought you could have done a little bit more here. And don't forget that you really do have to address this and answer this in your introduction if you're looking for a higher band score, like 7 and above. All right, let's take a look now at your task 1. All right, so let's move on to your letter. You are writing a letter of apology to your friend. Let's see what you said. Dear Abby, I just saw your letter and I'm so excited that you are planning to come over to my place. We'll talk about that in a second, but I really want to apologize as I'm unavailable on the dates that you have mentioned. Okay. First of all, I see a lot of people writing this at my place. We might say this in conversation, and there are certain contexts in which we do that. Certainly it's informal, but kind of like, how can I put this? If you're talking to your friend and you're deciding, you know, whose house to go to, you might say, oh, come to my place, or, you know, should we go to your place or mine? So in that kind of context, you could say it, but here it just doesn't feel particularly natural. Here it would be a lot more appropriate to say something like to visit me. All right, at my home even, you could have said, but at my place just sounds a little strange. So avoid my place in general. Okay, let's see. I just saw your letter and I'm so happy that you're planning to come visit me. Full stop here. It becomes really too long. All right, so just stop the sentence here. You could have said, however, I really want to apologize as I'm unavailable on the dates that you've mentioned. As I told you before in one of my letters, let's see. When you say as I told you, you can't say that. So as I told you before in one of my letters, I'll be attending a business meeting with clients in New York in November. Full stop. Well, the dates have been decided and the flight tickets are booked by the company, but the horrible thing is the dates coincide with your visiting dates. Now I'm unable to change this trip's dates and also can't miss the meeting. Since you have not booked your plane tickets, I think it would be great if you could postpone this trip. Also, there was a local festival on the 29th of November, so I would suggest you get rid of 2. I would suggest you plan your stay at that time. Full stop. It'll be so much fun as streets look really happening at this time. Not the streets look really happening, but the streets are really happening. Okay? At this time. And it will be a great experience for you. Okay? I got rid of some other extra words there too. Looking forward to hearing from you soon. Take care, Rachel. Okay, that's fine. So there were just some little things, little grammatical, little lexical things that were not entirely accurate, but on the whole, I thought this was a good letter. I thought you did everything you were supposed to do, but your task achievement was done really, really well. Okay, so just be careful with some of those areas of awkwardness. All right, so I'm really happy to see that you are writing again. I know that you took some time off, so I'm glad that you're back at your IELTS preparation. Go ahead, correct these, send us another set, and let's meet back here with your new set of essays. Good luck.